fidgeting that goes on when a sermon drags on or loses focus. The pain felt when it's thought that the rabbi has forgotten my pain or been insensitive to my needs. The power a rabbi holds over attitudes, over our emotional states, and most of all, the trust. People entrust stockbrokers with their money, lawyers with their reputations, and doctors with their health. But clergy are entrusted with their most cherished possessions of all, their children. And in a more abstract sense, but really the same thing, their hopes for the future. Sadly, we clergy all too often abuse that trust. There's nothing more awesome than the knowledge that people place their trust in us. I pray to be able to remember always, to place myself out there in the pews as our vision of a congregation takes shape. Rabbi Harold Kushner has written that he prays least when he's leading services. A strange confession, but true for most in my profession. Why? Because we're too busy, keeping one step ahead, always choreographing so that others might dance. When do we do our praying? When a congregant with a stricken soul, be it broken marriage, an illness, a state of depression, is heading into our office. That's the moment when Rabbi Kushner prays, and I do too. I pray that when the person enters, we might able in some sense to pray together, that rather than my dispensing nickel and dime advice, we might both leave the encounter healed. That is my approach to the rabbinate. As our relationship thickens with time, another reference, I'm afraid, to Manischewitz, we'll discover the old metaphor of shepherd leading flock to be insufficient. We won't be flock and shepherd, but people and a person, not leader and led, but fellow travelers, each helping the other to search, to strive, to bring the light of divinity into the world. This pulpit, already marvelously close to you, is going to get closer. This pulpit will become an extension of the pews, and the pews will become an extension of the pulpit. On this night, we are all empowered, all ordained, all, in the words of the Torah, a nation of priests, priests and rabbis, a congregation that embraces everyone, young and old, of all faiths, turning no one away. As fellow travelers, we'll stumble, we'll make mistakes, but learn from them. We'll express anger openly but privately, and we'll forgive. We'll suppress the urge to gossip and carry grudges, and we'll go beyond knee-jerk responses and first impressions. And when we don't, we'll do better next time. And most of all, we'll do it with the kind of pure, simple exuberance we have seen here tonight. There's been an electricity about this evening ever since the committee first met. We are all so joyous, so excited, so ready for the task at hand. Some have told me that Bethel has the potential for greatness, and this is not my concern. What is my main concern is the following. This congregation has an unlimited potential for doing good. I know. I've been down there in the pews. In the book of Deuteronomy, Moses begins a discourse with the words, Re'ei anochi noten lifnechem hayom bracha uklala. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. No, Moses was not introducing the new rabbi. Well, behold, I set before you today myself, as your teacher and student, your tour guide and passenger. I thank you for the honor and privilege of being welcomed so warmly into your family and community, and I pray with confidence and great anticipation that our future together will be for a blessing. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I speak to you this evening, make this presentation on behalf of the Men's Club and the Sisterhood and my colleagues Jerry and Eileen and Alec. A few thoughts in making the presentation. We'll try again. I'll repeat myself. A few thoughts in making this presentation. Every nation and every community experiences its own cycles of growth and renewal. We in the Bethel community share the excitement of entering into a new stage of growth and development in the life of the community. The Men's Club and the Sisterhood, like many other arms of our temple, has already enjoyed the direction and leadership from a new fountain of youthful energy and inspiration. The message is a wholesome one. The message is the right one. We rejoice in it, and we will play our part in supporting Rabbi Hammerman as he strives to achieve his goals for this congregation. I'm very proud to present to the temple on this occasion and on behalf of the Sisterhood and the Men's Club a portable ark. Now let me just say, in talking about a portable ark, we're not talking about some kind of portable boombox or anything, but this is something much needed by the community, by the congregation, and we hope they'll enjoy it. We're also presenting from the Men's Club and the Sisterhood a pair of chairs which will be used in the chapel upstairs. In making this presentation, Rabbi, we salute you, we honor you, and we wish you every success. Mazel tov.
Rabbi, also on this momentous occasion, Men's Club would like to present to you these two Sabbath and Festival morning service prayer books on this momentous occasion, and congratulations. We are grateful for the opportunity to worship. Okay, somebody coming before me. Sorry.
Rabbi Hammerman, we, the current leaders of Temple Bethel, representing the Board of Trustees, Sisterhood, and the Men's Club, present our offering with these words of gratitude.
We are grateful for the impulse to worship, to reach beyond ourselves, to cultivate a mood of reverence and awe.
We are grateful for the opportunity to worship, to assemble with our fellow Jews in accordance with the demands of our tradition and the dictates of our hearts and minds. We are grateful for the freedom to worship, to reaffirm our highest values as individuals and as a community.
We are grateful for the ability to worship, for the strength to come into God's presence, to acknowledge our blessings, and to find greater meaning in our lives. We are grateful for the days which have come and gone, and grateful, too, for the hopes we cherish for the days which lie ahead.
We, the members of the Board of Education, present this gift mindful of the words of Rabbi Israel Leventhal.
This is the glory of Judaism, that its teachings are eternally valid, and that its message, though most ancient, is also most modern.
Rabbi Hammerman, echoing the thoughts of Albert Einstein, Mrs. Fish and myself representing the school administration and the faculty, the 18 teachers of our religious school, offer this gift in the belief that the school has always been the most important means of transferring the wealth of tradition from one generation to another.
Tomorrow morning, I will return to this bima to become a bar mitzvah.
And tomorrow afternoon, I will again ascend this pulpit as I become a bat mitzvah.
But tonight, we look to the deeper meaning of this big event, beyond the parties and gifts, beyond the fountain pen. For bar mitzvah is the time to take on responsibility for the future of Judaism and the world.
And so, on behalf of the bar and bat mitzvah class, we present these siddurim with a pledge that we will carry the lessons of the Torah in our hearts as we grow older and hand them down to our children.
We present this offering in the name of all the teenagers of Temple Bethel, in the hope that we and our congregation will help bring Jewish teens to a greater pride in our Jewish heritage.
We will do our best to help make this place where all teens can feel welcome, where they can ask questions, seek answers, and always find support.
On a personal note, it is indeed an honor and a joy to make a presentation to Rabbi Hammerman. It was more than 5 years ago that as part of a search committee, we went to a small temple in Peekskill to hear a young rabbi conduct a Friday night service. It was love at first sight. As one of the saddened congregants told me, our loss will be your gain. I know he was correct. For those who have had many years, many decades of affiliation with Temple Bethel, this is part of our house and our identity. As I followed somewhat later in the footsteps of this young man, as a past president, so does the membership pass on the concerns and regard for one another from generation to generation. It is our hope that the continuum of wisdom, commitment, and caring be capably assumed by our new rabbi. His success, however, will need the support of each and every one of us. It is in keeping with this sentiment and hope that we, representing the past presidents of our temple, make this presentation. May we jointly share the message contained within these book covers.
As a past president, one has many opportunities, many mitzvahs, for things that we can do, such as maybe a wedding, maybe a bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah. Tonight, there are two mitzvahs I'd like to cover. The first one being that we are installing a new rabbi. The second mitzvah is that rabbi, Rabbi Joshua Stamford.
The famous rabbi once said that prayers are but signposts along the way, visible even in the fog, always pointing in the right direction, and always reminding us what to remember. Frank and I have been given the distinct honor to present you with these two prayer books. On behalf of all the millionaires, we hope that these two religious atlases will help you guide us as you pilot we, the congregation of Temple Bethel, through our religious future.
We must never forget that we were slaves, and therefore we must reach out and help others who are still suffering from hunger and pain.
It is in recognition of this truth that we, on behalf of Bethel Cares, offer this gift.
We, representing the young adults of the Temple family, present our offering with this prayer.
O God, join us together in fellowship and in love, and grant us the joy which comes from enriching others. Help us to be loyal to the heritage we share, deepen our concern for people everywhere.
The Temple family embraces all the generations, the young and the old, the haves and the have-nots.
And to everyone who is proud of our temple and what it stands for, we, the staff, with this offering, promise to maintain the serenity and dignity of our building and its surroundings.
Rabbi. Representing the Youth Commission, Barbara and I present you these Siddurim as living symbols of Jewish education, of learning, and of belonging at Temple Bethel. This sense of Jewish belonging is what our Youth Commission hopes to foster and nourish within the synagogue, and with the warmth and inspiration of your capable guidance.
We, representing the grandparents of Temple Bethel, make this offering. By passing the heritage of our beliefs from generation to generation, we attain a true immortality. It is good to know that the prayers we utter this day were said thousands of years ago and will be said thousands of years ago.
On behalf of the young couples of the temple, we extend this offering as a special sign of welcome to all those who are new to the community, those searching for friendship, acceptance, and a spiritual home. At a time of life when all is in flux, when old friends are hard to find, and new ones even harder to make, Bethel will always be here for you.
Trying to create a Shabbat Shalom formation here, but it's not going to work.
In Jewish prayer, there is a magical relationship between person and word and melody, melody and feeling, feeling and prayer, the person praying, and God. Without music, prayer is lifeless. With music, we are able to experience divine life.
We, representing the Temple Street Choirs, present this offering with the hope that all of us will be inspired always to sing unto the Lord a new song. Sibru Ladonai Siyakada.
Provide support for parents of all ages.
We celebrate this occasion. Our Sabbath vision celebrates the text of a new song with a chorus of resolve to wipe out cruelty and indifference, an anthem which all people may sing in a world of justice, of love, and of peace. In this spirit, we, representing the Shabbat Committee, present this gift.
Represent the continuing families and generations of the temple. My name is Gail Gruber-Trell, and my grandfather, Joseph Gruber, was one of the founders of Temple Bethel. From that time, my family has experienced the cycle of Jewish tradition. For 3 generations, we have participated in religious school, B'nai Mitzvah, confirmations, weddings, baby namings, a couple of Brit Mileh. We have been involved in sisterhood, men's club, USY, youth groups, the Board of Education, religious school, Board of Trustees, and even choirs.
My name is Alan Silberman. My maternal grandfather, Bill Krumpholz, was one of the original founders of the temple and a signer of the original mortgage. His daughter and my mother, Mildred Silberman, who is in attendance this evening, I believe to be the only person who has been a member for the entire existence of Temple Bethel.
Alan and I present the Sidors representing the continuing generations of families' involvement in the family of Temple Bethel.
evening has been long, but this is the kind of heartfelt celebration that is worth sitting around for. And an installation doesn't come around every year, and I hope it won't come around again here for a little while. But I will dispense with any pulpit announcements. There are announcements in your program, a yellow sheet with announcements of our upcoming events. Please read it when you go home. I want to just mention one because I had a special request and I feel an urgent need to announce that our Hebrew High School, Merkaz Torah, our community school, begins its sessions this Wednesday night. And we are seeking the cooperation of parents in asking their children, their teenagers, especially 8th and 9th graders and those older as well, to sample the kind of learning that can go on for Jewish teens at Merkaz Torah. I want to thank personally all those who've been involved in tonight's program. So many, too many to name. The program will continue. During our Oneg Shabbat, there will be music, there will be speeches, very short speeches, and an evening's worth of celebration, and as I said, it doesn't come around too often. And we are celebrating here tonight. There is one group that deserves to be thanked more than any other, and that is the children. Because they have been so patient, sitting here for a long service and having to act like adults. Now we'll ask them to act like adults for just one more moment as they come up to the bima to help us with Adon Olam. And at the end of Adon Olam, please allow a moment for those of us on the pulpit to go to the rear, to the social hall where we'll join together for our Oneg Shabbat. Come on up, children. All the children are still awake, and parents who want to escort them. Page 280, Adon Olam. Children can go up to post bar mitzvah too. Let's go.